Okay, so I'm sorry for the delay. Thank you, Frederic. The problem is I don't have Zoom on my machine, so I couldn't share the slides. Well, no, they're shared. What I wanted to show is FreeFem CS, which is a shell around FreeFem. Underneath, it uses exactly the same source as FreeFem, so the results, the numerical results are the same. But the idea is to improve the ease of use. You shouldn't have to know any computer science to use FreeFem CS. I demonstrate this here by showing an example where we go from the physics up to the numerical results, very basic example, but done completely, and with all the required math and physics theorems. Obviously, I mean, it's only for 15 minutes, so I won't show everything, but at least I will give you links if you need any more information in any subject you like. Oh yes, and I should say as well that this is part of
le truc vers le bas.
Yes. Well, no. Sorry.
I think this.
Yeah, right. No? Okay. Thank you.
Parce que tu n'avais pas cliqué dans la tête.
The goal of this talk is to use FreeFem CS and show it to you on a basic finite element simulation from scratch. As I said, all the required physics and math details, and I'm trying to put links to course notes and books online when I could find one. So really, the idea is that you can go back to this presentation and look for anything you need. All the links will be there, on the online version. So no computer science knowledge should be required. So before, a few words about FreeFem CS. What does it bring to FreeFem? So as I said, the ease of use is the point. So it's a point-and-click app, standard interface that you all know, nothing to explain. All available options and examples are listed in the menus. You don't have to remember them. And it's always possible to switch back and forth with FreeFem. It's completely compatible. The newest version of FreeFem is working. So the typical audience for this is anyone willing to investigate the finite elements without learning any more computer science. And maybe this person wants to have bigger projects later, maybe in FreeFem, maybe in another language. So our model is the same as the one Frederic chose. Just by chance, that's what we think. So this is a membrane fixed in a rigid frame. Our domain omega is the frame. It's delimited by the frame. It's a rigid frame, so the membrane is fixed on the sides, and there are vertical movements which are small, so we can consider them vertical. And as I said, we start from the very beginning, physics. So we start with a patch of a size delta x and delta y. We apply force to it and apply Newton's law of motion. And there are some slides following this, but I just keep them to keep in my 15 minutes. And we get two Poisson equations, as Frederic said. Obviously, from the physics side, we have a few requirements. We need U on F to be differentiable. There are a lot of details to do this equation, and this is one of my first links. This is a very good course written in English by Hervé Ledré from Liège. And so I really advise you to go and see it if you want to see how to get this equation. And this example was chosen for simplicity. So we only chose the first boundary condition we could use, which is the boundary condition. There are plenty of other types. And for that, I will also give a new link to see the other types of boundary conditions. So now we've done the physics, we go to the mathematical side. So we got the strong form of the equation. From the mathematics point of view, we need a few more hypotheses. The domain must be Lipschitz domain. UNF must belong to the right spaces. If you have any question about these spaces, I also added the links. And we can do the mathematical analysis of that problem. So we forget the physics and stay in the math and try and determine if the problem is well posed. This is quite an extended, difficult problem. So I won't dive into it here. I'll just give you some links, online links, English or French, and a book by Hyaric, which is both English or French versions available, which I quite recommend. And then inside this mathematical analysis, we do several steps that you probably most of you know. The weak form, we determine the weak form that Frederick showed. We apply the Galerkin methods and choose a finite element. And here is the list of all the finite elements that the FreeFem offers. And there's quite a long list of them. And so we have done the mathematical analysis. Now we need to put it on the computer. For that, we need to discretize it. This was done already in the slide before, and this was inside the Galerkin formulation solution. But now we are doing the really precise calculations that create a domain that is manageable by computer. And so we replace omega by TH. So H is a some kind of deterministic value that represents our mesh. We use it everywhere, but actually FreeFem doesn't know it. It's just a name. You don't need to give the value to H in FreeFem. You just give all the variables an index which is called H. So instead of looking for solutions in your previous space, you replace it with a finite element space, which is VH, and you're solving your problem, you're looking for UH instead of U. But fortunately, FreeFem is able to create all these 2D and 3D meshes for you and to build the related basis functions. So here is an example of a very basic mesh, but you can do much more. And the link to everything you can do here. Now we know how we want to compute it on a computer. So what kind of computer do we need to choose? Well, it goes from a smartphone, which can do a mesh with about 1,000 elements, to a laptop or a desktop on your desk, if you have got 1 million elements, or a dedicated server, as we quoted before, has done, for 1 billion elements or more. So we've chosen our computer. We want to download and install FreeFem CS. You don't need to install FreeFem. You can do, and they work. They can work side by side. If you want to use FreeFem CS, you just do one download. You look for FreeFem CS in the search engine, and it's the first choice. You can download it for Windows and Linux, and unfortunately, you can't do it for Mac because Apple has made things very difficult. And there was a macOS version, there isn't now because it's quite a lot of work. So as I said, if everyone is going to have, they are very welcome. Please note also that there is no administrator privilege required. So if any student on a computer lab, on a computer in a lab somewhere wants to try it, they can, or if they want to install it as part of the course, they can. So we have installed FreeFem CS. How do we write our script? Well, first, here is the script, practically exactly the same as the one from Frederick. We just replaced omega by th. We chose P1 Lagrangian elements. We named our solution and test function UH and GH. And this gives our script. This is the weak form. In FreeFem CS, you just tag that into the editor window. The good thing about that window is that it's color-coded, and when something is wrong, it's colored in red. So if the student sees some red characters in what they have typed, they know they can ask for help. And if you click on the run button, which is this one, so you don't have to use any terminal or looking at this, you get first the textual output from FreeFem, that's a real FreeFem. If there is any numerical error, then you can click on it and we point back to the line in the script where this error happened. And if there was no error, then you can see the graphics on the right, which are, at the start, quite basic. If you want more options for this for the graphics, you can click on this icon, which gives you this window. And on this window, I implemented the most useful BTK classes, but there are plenty of others. So by any means, if you have an idea of something that can do in BTK and we can't do in FreeFem CS yet, I'm happy to implement it. Please ask. The point here is not to re-implement ParaView. You certainly can output your data into the file and read it back into ParaView today. So this is only for interactive use in FreeFem CS. And that's what you can get. So same script as before, same results, but with a 3D visualization, you can clearly see the surface. So we've managed to go from the physics to that final surface. There are about 30, 40 slides, 30, 40 steps in the real presentation, so you can find it online. What can you do next once you've done this example? Well, you can see the online version. You can see plenty more examples. I've listed the most common sources. There are dozens of them. Probably one of them resembles what you want to do with FreeFem. So maybe you can just use one of them and start your own script from that. But in the longer term, you can also read about FreeFem capabilities in the FreeFem documentation, about the FreeFem implementation or the language definition. And you can also read about numerical analysis theory. And again, I quote these two sources. Online, you have got this course from LPLE, and if you want to go, you have this book from Grégoire Allaire, which are quite useful. And maybe also you will want sometime in the future to use another language than FreeFem because you have got a bigger project that requires Python or C++. And now this is my work today in progress. I am creating an API for FreeFem where you can write the same thing as FreeFem, but obviously in C++ or Python syntax. That's about all that I wanted to show you. Now I'll just show one slide of all the references. First, the ones from Wikipedia, there are plenty of others. There are 4 or 5 slides of them, which you can click on if, obviously, if you think this subject is of more interest for you. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Any question, comment, remark? I have a question. Is it possible to feed with parallel computing with FreeFem CS?
Well, yes, there is a side to FreeFem CS because CS means client server. So you can certainly connect to a server. lately, people have not used it, but it's still here, it still works. So if you are interested, I'm quite happy to make it work. Yes.
I have a question. You showed me syntax error from the web in your use of data. After the running of the script, we sometimes get the error in binary formulation. There are some message exactly showing, but not so easy to understand by reader. Something combination of the unknown or known function or object is something not understood by FreeFem. So what error? How the PFCS is show the time the actual error? Maybe sometimes we forget the comma or plus. So you can see that or
well. How it's done under the hood is that there is a Bison syntax, like the one from Frederick, which detects all the variable definitions and all the object definitions. If one is not defined correctly, or if, for instance, an operator is not used correctly, then highlights in red. But it's maybe there are errors that are not yet detected. If you find one, then certainly I can add it to the Bison syntax. Probably in your case, I think that if you say, I mean, in the weak form, if you say something plus some other thing that are not quite compatible with the mathematical description of the weak form.
Yeah, so that is the thing about the FreeFem shows some errors. So that it seems to be syntax error. That is if I could understand much more intuitively by using the FreeFem space, but maybe much more.
Yes.
Because when you say that the protect is in stone made, in that case, it's something of it's not dynamical developing, but I think of the statical semantic error is only the so it's. I think that would be very good.
Okay. Well, I'm certainly interested in working on that if you want.